What about small babies that are born, maybe they're in an accident or maybe they have some sort of really bad illness?
They bring that type of mental setup. It is their conscious choice.
From a previous life, they bring it with them?
When you say mental setup, is it the same as the samskara?
Yes, samskaras, mental setup.
So that's the only thing we carry with us after
Yes.
that.
Oh, about temple and all those things we will discuss later on. And let me tell you one thing, all these temple and all for initial level people. If you can really sit and meditate, you don't need temple. Be very clear, I am making all this, I am making a spiritual supermarket now. So that all stages of people will be helped. You understand? There are some people who are standing in the first level. For them, they cannot directly start meditating. For them, they need something to relate with. So I bring all these things. So I put all these things for level 1, level 2, level 3 people. If you can meditate, forget about all these things. Do not waste your time. And let me be very open. I am very clear. See, I am not doing all these things. I don't do business out of vigrahas. I don't do business out of temple. Temple is not profession for me. Temple is not business for me. That's the reason I am very clear. That is for initial level people. People who can't sit with closed eyes. For them, at least sit with open eyes. To make them sit, to give them the initial inspiration, all those things. Please do not be caught in that. Do not be caught in that. It's like, you see, in university, first level programs, second level programs, third level programs. There are level courses. Same way, these are all first level programs. Nice things. Good place to start, but not the right place to end. Good place to start. You see, you feel nice, you can sit 10 minutes there. If I say normally, ordinary way, just sit 10 minutes, it will be a little difficult. But 10 minutes you can sit with him, in front of him. So these are all initial things. So do not bother too much about all those things. And do not bother too much about all those rituals also. These are all, I can say, in the first level, see, our rishis are so compassionate. They created a step by step, small steps, small steps, so that even a handicapped people can walk. See, in this country, they say that all buildings should be done in such a way, built in such a way, even handicapped people should be able to use that. Same way, our rishis have created a system, even mentally handicapped people can use. Even beginners, even for them, they created a system. These are all systems created for beginners, not for the people who start meditating. If you are not able to meditate, then take the help of all these things. If you are able to meditate, forget about all these things, straight away start meditating. I always tell people, if you don't meditate, you worship. If you don't meditate, you worship. If you start meditating, you will be worshipped. That's all. Non-meditator worships, meditator is worshipped. That's all. So be very clear. Do not be stuck in all those things. These are all nice things. Initial level. If you can go ahead, move further.
If you happen to be at a place where somebody is passing on.
And one more thing, please let me be very open and clear. All your prayers and all these things are nothing but awakening your own energy. Those things are done to awaken your own energy. So meditation will work much intensely than any other prayer. Any other prayer, it's like a step by step. In the initial level, you are asked to pray. Then in the next level, some japa, means repetition of mantra. Then meditation. Then naturally, ultimate enlightenment. So these are all initial level. Do not be caught in the initial things. Do not bother too much about why he is wearing that saree, why he is wearing this saree. Just looks beautiful, so I put that all. People ask me, why he is standing like this? Don't ask him, how do I know? ask him why he is standing like this. See, they have taken the photograph when you are standing like that, that's all. Nothing else. See, I am sitting like this. You take a photograph and make a statue of that same pose. After some time, why Swami is sitting like that? What is the meaning of his hand being like this? See, that is the time they click the photograph, that's all. So do not bother too much about all these things. And one more thing, that the statues are installed so that you can relate with the divine through some form. He is formless. He is formless. But you can't directly relate with formless. You need some form. That's the reason we put some form. Whether it is Shiva or Vishnu or Venkateshwara, Rama, Krishna or Ganapati, any form is okay. It is just so that you can relate with the God, some form. That's all. Don't start fighting. There's a big fight. Always people fight. Shiva is big or Krishna is big. Rama is big or Vishnu is big. I always tell people, see that Shiva and Krishna, if they meet, they will hug each other. But the Shiva's bulls and Krishna's goats always fight. They always fight with each other. And do not bother about who is big or who is great and all those things. These are all help for you to enter into meditation, that's all.
I took a group of people to Aditya temple and they were all there, and they asked me why you have a white towel, and I myself didn't know. So I thought
It's actually Vaishnavic mark to awaken Anya Chakra, that's all. That creates a sort of heat and continuously your Anya will be alive, active, that's all. If everything is Maya, why so complicated? Because you don't understand it's complicated. If you understand everything is Maya, nothing is complicated. I think, yes,
where does, if everything has to be done by us, then where does Guru come into play?
Guru come into place reminding you that everything has to be done by you. Guru is a man who doesn't give you false hopes, who makes you aware, who makes you stand on your own feet, tells you, you have to stand and you can stand. Please be very clear. People who always exploit you will never let you believe you can stand in your feet. Only an enlightened master will make you believe you can stand. And he will see that you stand. A small story. A Zen master, enlightened master and his disciple, both of them went to a river. Suddenly the disciple fell in the river and started drowning. He shouts, "Master, save me, save me." Master says, "Fool, stand up and save yourself." Disciple says, "You teach all your Vedanta later on, now save me. I am drowning, I am dying." He says, "Save yourself, you can save." I teach all those things later on when I come out. Now save me, my life is at risk. Master just shouts, "Fool, stand up and save yourself." The moment the disciple heard the word, he was shocked so much, he just stood up and saw water is only up to knee level. Water is only up to knee level. Guru is a person who makes you understand water is only up to knee level, stand up.
The purpose of worship, the objects, idols, forms, is only a beginning to get to the meditative state. That how come in many religious faiths, that's not, the worship is not there, it's just purely meditation.
I can say those systems are not complete systems. They are buildings without the handicapped facilities. You understand? They are not complete. Our rishis have created a system where everything is available. See, there are some people who can do only physically. There are some people who can do verbally. There are some people who can do mentally. So, for physical people, you need worship, physical worship, pouring something, doing something physically. For verbal people, repetition of mantra, stotra, Vishnu Sahasranama or some mantra for people who are mental level, higher level, for the meditation. So Rishis have created a system for every level, body, mind and spirit. In all the level, they have created a system. So I can say, without little bit of worship, the system is incomplete. Huh? This is a nice question. If you lived your whole life just eating, naturally at the time of death, what you will decide? Anyhow, even if I take one more body, I am going to only eat. Let me take big body. Why to take unnecessarily big responsibilities? So that I can eat the whole day. If you lived your whole life sleeping. Naturally you decide, let me become buffalo. I can sleep whole life. You decide according to your activities, according to your mental setup. How you live, based on that, you decide your next life. See, what you think as most important thing in your life and the greatest achievement, that attitude, that idea decides your next life.
Swami, if whenever I pray, I say that all action that I'm going to do today, I pray and I say, okay, Swami, just give me the energy that whatever I do, right, wrong, I go to work, any decision I take, it's going to be taken, I'm going to be detached from it. So, and I also pray. Now, is this right, wrong, having this faith? Now, you said that I am the one who, the Guru is the person who tells that you are the one who is going to be doing this action. But the disciple says, okay, Swami, you are going to give me the energy and it is you who are doing it. So, what exactly is...
One thing, even you saying continuously the master is doing everything is an effort. Even that is an effort. So be very clear, master doing everything will happen when you understand or realize when you become enlightened. Be very clear, there are two paths, self-surrender and self-effort. Self-surrender means completely removing yourself. Self-effort means completely taking the responsibility on yourself. Even to do the self-surrender, you have to put your effort. The initial level. You understand? See, every day you say, oh master, please give me energy. Even that is an effort. You intensely praying is also an effort. After some time, without even praying, you will feel strongly connected to master and you will be continuously supplied with energy. That is what I call real surrender. Then surrender has happened. As of now, surrender has not happened. It's only self-effort. Why do you think people go on continuously preaching? Because they don't believe. If you are convinced what is happening here is beautiful, enjoy, that's enough. Things will automatically happen. Your very bliss, your very transformation will inspire them. Right? What happened? This guy has transformed so much means there must be something really nice. I should go and experiment. Show the transformation in your life, not in your words. What you do will speak for you. What you speak will not do for you. What you do will speak for you. What you speak will not do for you. Little loud.
You said that a lot of what we do and the effort is going to be ours. So, what is the process? How does that? I'm wondering
Repeat the question.
how that relates to the Guru's grace.
No, sorry ma. Can you come front because of the span?
Well, I'm wondering because you said a lot of this depends on our own efforts. Yes. A lot of what we do depends on our own efforts. So I'm wondering where the Guru's grace comes in, or is there such a thing?
Grace.
Yes.
The idea to make effort or the inspiration to make effort itself is a grace. Inspiration to do effort comes because of grace. All people don't get the inspiration to do effort, to make effort. You got the inspiration to make effort. Na? That itself shows that you have a grace. Yes.
This question is there for a long time. This is picking up. You said you are liberated, you die. Who is that you always suffer?
That you, as of now, is you. What do you think as you?
That's where I asked you. I
See,
don't know.
now as of now, what do you think as you? What do you think as you?
I don't know that.
That's-
Had I known, I would never answered.
You see, when you work or when you sit or when you do some things, when, for example, when you relate with your wife, you think yourself as a husband. When you relate with your daughter, you think yourself as a father. When you relate with your boss, you think yourself as a servant. When you relate with your servant, you think yourself as boss. As of now, you are all these things put together. All these things put together. When you go deep, you will suddenly realize you are not all these things. New understanding will happen. Of course, till that happens, you have to continuously pester and work with yourself. But that has to happen in you.
When a person's been diagnosed with a disease,
Huh?
when a person's been diagnosed with cancer or a disease, do they start working on their samskaras at that point?
I don't think they start working consciously. They start suffering, that's all. Working is different, suffering is different. By working, you remove the samskaras. By suffering, you may not remove.
Swamiji, you speak of the great masters that are enlightened, they're in the nirvana, and then they assume a body and come in if they want, but then they don't have identity, they're merged.
This is a very tricky question. In that level, you have identity and you don't have identity. It's paradox. You can't understand intellectually.
And also within that, within enlightenment, I heard you say that enlightenment is called ultimate, but it's not the end.
It's not the final.
Right. So in nirvanic body, is it one level or is it still evolution?
No, it's one level. As you understand. As you understand. More than that, only after going there you can see.